Hello, my friends. Welcome back to Tittle Tattle Tarot. It's Georgie, and I'm very late to the game on this one. I picked up The Other Bowling Girl in a charity shop, and it's a damn good read. A real sort of bodice ripping read, I would say. Very, very good. Obviously, very highly fantasized in places. I know that some of the things that she puts are purely there as a fantasy novel, but a lot of things are based on facts. And I think when you put a lot of facts with a lot of fairy tale, it gets a bit difficult to know what's what and who's who. I've really enjoyed this. She portrayed Mary Boleyn as the youngest Boleyn, whereas in fact she was the oldest. Not that that matters. This is a work of fiction, really, isn't it? Just based on some truth. But the one thing that I wanted to know from this book, and I haven't seen the film either, there are probably those of you out there that have read the book, seen the film, seen various things. Well, I haven't done any of that. So this was my first foray into Philippa Gregory, and I really enjoyed it. But I want to know about Anne Boleyn's miscarriage, the one before she was executed. I think it was about 1536. And I believe she miscarried on the day that Queen Catherine of Aragon died. I believe that's true. And there, as I say, there's fact and fiction in here, and I get muddled as to what is what. But this miscarriage she had in this book and in other books, I believe, it's been reported that the baby that she had was a male, and that he was very deformed, highly deformed. And I think that was put about, by quite a lot of people. And it's certainly in this book. And I want to just throw a Celtic cross about this. Where does this come from? Is it true? Is it true? I don't know. Let's have a little look. Seems very suspect to me, but it's in this book, which is fantasy, and but I know it's in other literature as well. So Anne Boleyn, the final baby that she carried, I think she only carried it to about 3 months, and then had this miscarriage, and it was said that the child was very deformed. So let's just see with a Celtic cross what we can make of this tale. Okay, let's start pulling. We'll do a little bit of cutting. Woo! A little bit of cutting. And then we'll go straight ahead with the Celtic cross. Okay. And then we'll talk about it afterwards. Interesting. Okay. Okay. All right, so this is specifically about this question of this child, supposedly a male child, being malformed when she had this miscarriage. Terrible thing to happen, that this child was hideously disfigured. Okay, let's look at the center of all of this. So at the center of this is shedding light on the truth. Shedding light on the truth. So this is the truth card. Let's shine a light on what has happened. Let the truth be the guide for this whole reading. Let us look closely. Look how closely this hermit is looking at his path. Let's look at the path of what's being said here. Let's discuss it, and let's come to the right conclusion. Let's give it fair trial, and let's lead the way with this lantern of truth. So this is very much the hermit. So this is at the center. So this is a good omen for this reading. Let's get the truth. Let's get to the truth. And this is what this reading is all about, seeking the truth. Because crossing it, it's heartache. It's the sadness of a miscarriage, the sadness of what's been said. What was said about Anne, what was said about her you know, her relationships with men, this particular baby. This is all heartbreaking to her, you know, although, you know, all this came out after she had died. You know, we all live on, and it's just like the heartbreak of her name being so badly sullied by all of this. Because at the top, we've got the Queen of Swords. This is very, very hurtful. Queen of Swords in reverse is lies. This whole thing is an untruth. The Queen of Swords, the right way up. Now, this is justice, and it's right, and it's speaking the truth. I speak to you from you know, my head. I speak to you with the truth, and like it or not, I will say it because it's true and it's right. Well, the Queen of Swords in reverse is not that person. The Queen of Swords in reverse is mistruth, untruth. It's things that are said to deliberately hurt. This doesn't have to be a female energy, but, you know, we have got a female energy here. So, you know, not speaking words of truth. Hence this card here, the heartbreak of it all, because these were not words of truth. And at the bottom, Temperance in reverse. At the bottom of all this, who benefited from this? Temperance the right way up. This is fair and balanced. This is, you know, pouring the oils on troubled waters. This is seeing both sides, give and take, and, you know, show me your side, I'll show you my side of things. Oh, I understand. We balance everything out. I see earth, I see sky, I see water, I put it all together. Well, you know, everything is balanced and moderate and calm. When it's the other way up, this is not balanced. This is somebody saying something about somebody that is not balanced, not kind, not truthful, saying it to benefit themselves, if you like, saying it to benefit their cause. Okay, so the past. Now, of course, this is all in the past. We're talking hundreds of years ago, but this would have been bad communication. You know, the kind of communication that is not truthful communication. This way up is free-flowing, very easy communication. You know, the right messages getting across, sending it out where it needs to go, the right communications. But we've got this blockage here. We've got not true, and we've got somebody or some organization working for their own benefit and not working for the greater good, for the balance of things, and that forces the communication to be blocked, to be wrong, to be misleading, because it took this woman's reputation. This is the thief card. It doesn't necessarily mean taking money from someone, but you can steal someone's reputation. And all of this was taking Anne's reputation, you know, trawling it through the mud, that, you know, she committed incest with her brother, that she had all these lovers, that this baby was deformed. How much more theft can you take from someone? How much more can you steal from them? Apart from, you know, what else do we have if not our good name? You know, and if somebody trashes that, what do you have? You know, this is far more important than stealing money from someone, to steal someone's reputation. And this is what happened. So let's come up the outside. Knight of Pentacles in reverse. The Knight of Pentacles is the right way up. This is a very reliable source, very slow and reliable. And, you know, if the Knight of Pentacles tells you something, or asks you to follow him, to plant a pentacle tree, you go, oh, yes, that's fine. Knight of Pentacles, he won't lead me astray. Well, this led everyone astray. This would have been a meandering story that went down through the centuries. You know, where did it come from? Well, the Knight of Pentacles, he's wandered off with this. You know, he hasn't sort of come along with his pentacle of truth and planted a pentacle of truth. No, he's upended. He's come along with a pentacle of lies, and he's sort of fumbled around, and people have believed him and followed him and been taken on this wrong path. Here they are, you know, with their legs in the air, and it's like, well, what a ridiculous story, what a ridiculous thing to follow. But many people did, believing she was a witch, believing about this terrible tale of this miscarriage, believing so many things about this woman, because they were misled by a Knight of Pentacles in reverse, wandering off and saying things slowly but surely over the centuries. And again, people working together. Well, this is the working together. This is, you know, your community coming together. This always reminds me of a christening, this card. And, you know, I don't know why, it's always got that look of it. I always think of this as like being a baby, and this one's standing here. I don't know, that's the immediate feeling that I get with this christening, which is funny in this circumstance. But it is a working together card, your Three of Pentacles. Well, look, we're upside down. And if it is a christening card, well, there was no christening, there was no baby. But the working together, no, they were working to separate, to segregate people. You know, the people that believed this were probably, you know, of a different faith, a different side of Christianity. You know, the Catholics and the Protestants. It could have been some propaganda, but it's people not working for the greater good. Again, like this Temperance card in reverse. This is working against the greater good, not being balanced. This is not balanced. And then we have the Page of Pentacles in reverse. Again, similar to this Knight of Pentacles. This is younger energy. This is probably talking about the baby. Pages are babies. So, or very young people, you know. But this Page of Pentacles in reverse, this child, deformed, would never have lived, you know, absolutely horrifically deformed. That was the message, the wrong message. This is a truthful message. This is all about growth and, you know, things blooming and growing and living and, you know, just going on in the world, and a good, strong message. This way up, no, died on the vine, not moving forward, a bad message of death and deformity and what have you in this Page of Pentacles in reverse. The child that, you know, did not survive and, according to legend, was horribly disfigured. And then we have, yes, this one here. This is your sort of pre-empress energy. Now, this would be your woman who is greatly admired. Nine of Pentacles, greatly admired. This is the woman. This would be, you know, a queen that was admired. Although it's not a queen. It's sort of pre-empress energy. It's not a queen, but it's somebody that people would look up to and say, oh, you know, this is a strong woman. Look at her with her bird of freedom on her hand. Look at her with her pentacles. She's a woman to be respected. We've got this up the other way. So we've got our Nine of Pentacles up the other way. This woman was not respected. And this was all just part of the myth and the legend of her, to bring her down, to bring her down. What's a very clear reading about this. So this child, I don't even know whether this was a boy. I mean, how can you tell it? I think it was 3 months. Would they even have known that this was a boy? You know, just give me another couple of cards just to close this up and just see what we get here. Judgment. And the Lovers in reverse. Yeah. I mean, Judgment. Once this happened, this miscarriage, it was said that it was a boy. Well, that was a nail in her coffin, wasn't it, really? That was a judgment on her. She can't hold a male child to term. She was cursed. Henry was cursed. He wanted rid of her then. He's seeing Jane Seymour and seeing Jane Seymour as this wonderful creature that would you know, give him what he wanted. And Anne was just, well, you know, let's get rid of her any way we can. And her judgment, the judgment was rained down on her. Lovers in reverse. Well, that's not just her and Henry, that's her and the whole of the court, the whole of the country were against her. This wasn't true. this wasn't true. She didn't have a deformed child. She had a tragic miscarriage. Even if it was a boy, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe so. But it was a miscarriage in the very early months. This has persisted down, and it was in this book by Philippa Gregory. And I thoroughly enjoyed this book, but so many fairy tales in it. But as I say, mingled with a lot of truthful things as well. So that's where it becomes a bit cloudy. Now, is that true or is that not? I think the cards have told me all I need to know. I'm sure that there are many of you out there who know about this much more than I do. And I'd like to know your thoughts on what the cards are saying and whether you've read any Philippa Gregory books. If you can recommend one for me, because now I've read this one, I think I'd like to read another. So if you've got a recommendation for me, or you think they're old pot boilers and they're useless, you just let me know, because I always love to hear your feedback and what lovely things you have to say. So you take care. Be back again soon with another one. Bye-bye.